بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Tonight, inshallah ta'ala, since we've had a bit of a break, we may delve into, or we will inshallah delve into a revision. For indeed, the mind sometimes loses the information that one collects, hence processes. So it's extremely important to always remind each other of the knowledge that we are acquiring. And this knowledge is not just mere babyish, infantile knowledge. This is the knowledge that will lead you, inshallah ta'ala, to gardens beneath which rivers flow. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us amongst those who are its inhabitants. You know, it's extremely important to understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed us with eyes and with ears. And these eyes and ears play a major role in acquiring this golden acquisition, because it can lead you to a better life. If you utilize these two blessings in a way that benefits you in this world and the next, then you will not be sorry on a day that you will be questioned, and they will be questioned. The eyes and the ears are the means of collecting information. They collect. Your eyes and your ears collect information. Hence they store it. And then the mind is the end result. The information that is collected, it processes it. And once digested, it materializes on the rest of your body. This is the importance of understanding why we acquire and collect. قال الله تعالى وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Not just to have information collected in a hard drive and put in archives and forgotten, becoming cold case files. No. We collect it, hold it for only a little while in order to process it, digest it, and hence allow it to shine in our behavior, in our actions. It must manifest, because you are representing the knowledge that you acquire. And if you do not represent it through action, you are no more than a useless donkey, if I may say with all respect. Because a donkey can carry a lot, but it cannot benefit from what it is carrying. So basically, make sure the knowledge that you accumulate is processed, digested, and it represents who you are. And that is no other than a servant of the Lord of the seven heavens and the earth. So, the past 4 weeks that we were here studying and acquiring this great knowledge, I just hope it's not lost. I just hope that we have carried it in a way where we have benefited ourselves, our families, friends, cousins, relatives, neighbors, and the community at large. And this is the benefit of acquiring this beautiful Aqidah. Because the majority of this earthly inhabitants, they are lost. Wallahi, they are lost. The majority of the world are sleeping. They're in a state of slumber. Their eyes are open, but their hearts are closed. Most of them haven't got a clue in the world why they even exist. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed them with organs, with feelings, with senses, with limbs. Yet they live on this earth for just a little time and then die. Yet do not know why they even came onto this earth. Wallahi, it's a sad, sad situation. Because the time that we have been blessed with is so minute. The time that Allah gave us, the time that Allah allotted for mankind is like the melting of an ice in the middle of the sun. It melts so quickly, and this is our lives, it melts so quickly. Yet we do not realize, because we're too busy gathering and accumulating and grabbing whatever we can. Not realizing that at any second, at any given second, wallahi, your life can come at an end abruptly, without even knowing, realizing the inevitable, the death, which is the destroyer of all desire. So make sure you are always aware, you are awake. Don't let this dunya grab you like the cob of a spider grabbing the insects, hence being devoured by that big, scary, devouring spider. This is Satan himself. For he is in the middle of that cob, and this world is no other than a cob. This earth is like a cob. If you get stuck on that cob, that devil is in the middle. He's the spider. He will surely destroy you. Disattach yourself from worldly desire. I'm not saying leave and abandon and disown the dunya, no. I'm saying be very wary that you allow yourself to realize that you give time for your life in this dunya. But you give time for the day that is equal to 50,000 years. The day of judgment. We live for 60, 70 years. And we give our time for this mere 50, 60, 70, maybe 80, 100 years. We give it so many hours in the day, maybe 23 and a half hours to these 70 years, when there's 70 or 50,000 years in one day. We give it a few minutes. A few minutes only. Now look at the ratio between these two. Come on. You don't need to be a mathematician or scientist to understand the difference. So live accordingly. Give the time that is deserving to each area. وَلِجِسْمِكَ عَلَيْكَ حَقٍّ وَلِدِينِكَ عَلَيْكَ حَقٍّ وَلِأَهْلِكَ عَلَيْكَ حَقٍّ. Give every single one its due proportion. And you can't go wrong. So what we're going to do tonight, inshallah ta'ala, is ask some questions that we have learned and see where we are at the moment and whether we have stored it correctly and understood it correctly, so we can make sure we can move on to the next stage, inshallah ta'ala. I've written some basic questions. They're as easy as eating a sweet, beautiful cheesecake. Is it hard to eat a sweet, beautiful, tasty, scrumptious cake, Elisa? You devour it in a few seconds, Luna. That means you're going to devour this in less than a few seconds. That's how easy these questions are. And you are the first person I'll ask, being on the right hand side. And tabarakallah, those glasses make you look more intelligent and professional, tabarakallah. It's too late now. A leader of a Muslim group told his followers, we need to visit every masjid, regardless of their belief, and unite. So the question is, a leader of a Muslim group said, enough's enough. We need to unite. Let us go to every masjid, to every musalla, wherever that may be, and unite. Irrelevant of what they believe, what they do, put it behind your back, and let us just unite. What would your response, or what is your opinion in this matter?
What are we uniting upon?
Allahu Akbar.
We are not.
The one united upon Islam.
Yeah, but
Well, you have one vegetable, making vegetable soup.
obviously, but what's like we gotta be united on the right Aqidah.
And what is the right Aqidah? I like that. like that. Sorry, I'm going to sleep like that, but I'll stand up. And I like that. Continue.
We've got to follow the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ according to the companions, the Salaf al-Salih.
Allahu Akbar. It's getting nicer and nicer. That cake is getting sweet. Continue.
We've got to unite onto the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Aha, tabarakallah. See? It's coming out. This knowledge is coming out. Where'd you get that from? You said that we've got to unite on the rope of Allah Ta'ala. That's unbelievable. قُلْ هَاتُوا بُرْهَانَكُمْ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ.
Allah says it in the Quran.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. You can't beat this guy. He's got ammunition. Continue. What does he say?
That's it.
He says unite on the rope of Allah. Who's going to assist? واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا. Now Mahir is assisting you in this area since he, tabarakallah, just mentioned the verse. Can you please explain to us the rope of Allah here? So he mentioned the Quranic verse that the Almighty Allah mentions that all of you together unite. See, it's not just the mere fact of uniting, but uniting on what? We can all get together and unite. It's not hard. We're uniting here tonight. But what is the unity for? What is the assembly for? What are we uniting upon? It is not hard to gather. It is not hard to unite. It's not hard to assemble. We all can assemble in a particular place. But what is the crux of all this? What's the bedrock? On what foundation are we uniting? Let us see. See, when you unite around a circle, for example, together here, there has to be something in the middle that we're discussing. And if we don't discuss it and unite upon that thing, it's useless. You're wasting your time. There has to be something there that we all grab, and hence we are all agreeing to that. Allah says it. And all of you unite together. He tells us on what? The rope of Allah. The what? The rope of Allah. And do not disunite. So He is the answer to what we unite upon. The point upon which we as Muslims unite upon is mentioned. The rope of Allah. What is the rope of Allah, man? Where did you get that from?
For hadith, Prophet ﷺ said that the Muslims will be divided into 73. And when he said, and وَكُلُّهُمْ فِي النَّارِ إِلَّا وَاحِدٌ. And then when I asked him, Ya Rasulullah, which one would that be? He goes, whoever follows my path and of my companions.
Okay, that's a reiteration to the verse. Where can we get the explanation of the rope of Allah? From scholars or the Salaf? يا شباب الأمة يا شباب الإسلام يا علماء الأمة قد تكلمنا بها. Yalla, open that computer of yours. We're not in the old days broadband. That's history. It takes 2 hours to open. Today it's different. It's instantaneously. Now, anyone? What did Sheikh al-Islam say about it? About the rope of Allah. How did he define? What did he define it as being? Huh? I'll take it off your tongue. No. Anyone else? He mentioned that the rope of Allah is the Quran, is the Sunnah, is the Jammah. It's all of this. It is the methodology upon the first 3 generations. The Salaf al-Salih. He goes, this is their methodology. This is how they understood the rope of Allah as being A, B, C. So we've got to understand the definition of the rope of Allah. Otherwise, it may be hijacked. It may be misconstrued. It may be misinterpreted by people of innovation, by deviant people who will take the rope of Allah to meaning to their own meaning, to what they want to say is the rope of Allah. But the Salaf clearly said it, that the rope of Allah is no other than the Quran, the Sunnah, and it's the Jammah. And then you can say, Ya Mahir, as you said earlier on, that this ummah will be divided by in how many sects? 73, all of them in the fire except one. قِلَ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ وَمَا هِيَ هَذِهِ قَالَ مَا أَنَا عَلَيْهَا وَأَصْحَابِ. Now the narration, هُمَ الْجَمَاعَةِ أو هِيَ الْجَمَاعَةِ. See, now there's more clarification. It reiterates, it adds to the sweetness of this definition. So we all understand that this, at the end of the day, this group, this leader, what is he doing one year, Yusuf?
He's calling people upon or to unite, but
in other words, I'll tell you what he's doing. He said that I'm going to go to every masjid, irrelevant of that group's belief, who they are. He's going to go, for example, to Auburn, to the Ahmadis. There's an Ahmadi group there, you know that? Who say that Ghulam Ahmad is a prophet, yet they claim Islam. He wants to unite with them. He wants to go to Al-Zahra, Fatima al-Zahra Mosque in Arncliffe, to the Shiites, who curse and slander most of their companions. He wants to unite with them as well. He wants to unite with the elite Sufis, who claim that the Kutub are infallible. Hence they can control the peoples of the earth. He wants to unite with them as well. None of these groups are uniting upon what? The core, the point of unity, which is the rope. They don't care about the rope of Allah Ta'ala. So can we unite with them? No. You cannot unite with them. You're not allowed to unite with them. Wallahi, even if you are on your own, you are still in a state of unity, even if you're by yourself, if you hold on to the correct rope of Allah, and the world is uniting against you. Did you understand this? Did you all understand this? Alhamdulillah. Any questions regarding that? We've got to give it to the left-hand side now. We've got to go from right to left, because otherwise they're going to be saying that I'm oppressing them. So I'm sorry. I'll give it to you, Mustafa. You want me to? I'll have to get off you. Mustafa, I'll excuse you because you weren't here. You weren't here either in the early days. The Quran mentions وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةِ or وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةِ, and establish prayer. According to the majority of scholars, is this fard or wajib? It's going to allow your mind to sort of play, isn't it?
To do what?
Okay. The command, وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةِ, and establish prayer. According to the majority of scholars, do they say that this is a command called wajib or fard? What is the term utilized here?
Isn't it the same thing?
I'm asking you. I'm not explaining to you, I'm asking you. So according to the majority of scholars, what would this be? Would it be wajib or fard to pray? The Quranic verse says, and establish prayer. It's a command. So is this command, to the majority of scholars, is it wajib or fard? To the majority of scholars?
It's both. It's both. Majority of scholars said it's wajib and is fard.
Wajib and fard are two different things. Fard holds peace.
That is correct. According to the majority of scholars, it's both equal. They're interchangeable. They're both equally the same. But according to Abu Hanifa, what is it? The Quranic verse came from the Quran. According to Abu Hanifa, is it wajib or fard?
Wajib.
It's like someone just penetrated with a big dagger in the heart and just twist it and my heart no longer exists. Not that bad, anyway. It's what? According to Abu Hanifa, rahmatullah alayhi, A command came from the Quran. What is it? Farad or wajib? Sorry? Farad? Why?
Because wajib is from the Sunnah.
Correct. According to Abu Hanifa, any command in the Quran to him is fard. Any command in the Sunnah to him is wajib. He is the only one that distinguishes between the two. Understood? Alhamdulillah. أهلا يا علي ما شاء الله محمد سيد ما شاء الله أهلا. A person introduces, Ya Muhammad Sa'id, an innovation in Islam and says this is a good innovation, using for evidence the hadith من سن في الإسلام سنة حسنة فله أجرها وأجر من عمل بها بعده إلى آخر الحديث. And this individual introduced a good novelty according to him, a good innovation according to him, utilizing as evidence this narration. Is he correct? No. Why? من سن في الإسلام.
Because he's according to he's according to what he's thinking or his theory behind it, not to the Quran and Sunnah or to the companions.
But he's got a hadith. Whoever introduces a good sunnah, good path, a good road, a good avenue, a good way in Islam will get the reward for it, and all those who act upon it after him. So how can we explain this? How can we refute him? Because he's utilizing this narration that this is evidence for good innovation. How are we going to explain this, man? We did explain this, didn't we, thoroughly? Sorry?
It's a sunnah that's already been established.
The sunnah that already been established.
The sunnah was already established, that's why it was okay.
The sister is correct. Further explain.
And the evidence behind it was hadith of Aisha, she said, whoever
Let us not go there. Let us stick to the hadith that he's using. Let's rebuke him from that hadith itself. Because it's always best to rebuke an individual with that he is using, and we utilize it against him, not allow him to use it for him.
So the hadith was man sanna.
Whoever introduces a good sunnah in Islam.
That's it. A good sunnah. So anything that he's doing is outside the sunnah.
Because the sunnah is, don't forget, what definition of sunnah?
Could be a personal sunnah, could be a...
It's a way, it's a road, it's a path. We learned that linguistically and Islamically. So he's saying it's my way. I'm choosing a good way, a good path. See how he's thinking? But how can you refute him from the same narration? Stop.
You can say to him that this very same person that quoted this particular hadith also quoted that whoever introduces a newly invented matter.
You're now utilizing it in another way, which is acceptable, but I'm trying to stick to the narration itself.
It could be a personal sunnah, something that he...
What was the hadith? Can you repeat the hadith? Whoever?
You should have memorized the hadith. For me to repeat that which I've already repeated numerously,
Okay.
just like throwing pebbles at me until I fall down and collapse. Oh.
I was just saying it's an action which is in accordance with the sunnah.
We actually, we took this thoroughly, and we explained how to rebuke individuals who claim this to be a good innovation. We mentioned the origin of the revelation of this narration and how it all started. Jarir ibn Abdullah was the narrator. Did he not mention that a group of Bedouins came to him in a state of abject poverty, hardly dressed? And he was in a state of sadness when he saw them. And he climbed the minbar and he advised them and encouraged them. Give fi sabilillah from anything that you have. So he was advising He was encouraging them to what? To give. And then one companion stood up from the Ansar, went home and got some things and put it in the middle. And when he saw that, his face glittered with joy and happiness. So when the companion saw this individual doing what he did, and the reaction on the Prophet's face, subhanAllah, can you imagine putting a smile on the Prophet's face? How powerful would that be? Allahu Akbar. You would sleep beautiful that night, Allah. Because he hardly smiled and laughed. Like he wasn't a person like that. And you putting a smile on his face, Allah. So when the companions saw that, what they do? They all got up and likewise got something. Hence he said, whoever introduces a good sunnah. So what do we learn? He advised them, he encouraged them to give. This individual went and started the road of giving due to what he commanded in reality. So he wasn't introducing something new, he was doing what he was commanded to do. But he started the road, a chain reaction, so they all followed him. So he introduced a path of righteousness that was encouraged. Not that he himself done something new from an origin that does not exist. You understand?
He was introducing that sunnah.
Yes. So in other words, the meaning of the good sunnah, anyone who revives, anyone who does a sunnah, any part of the sunnah, anyone who teaches it, anyone who commands others to do it, anyone who emulates his sunnah in order to be emulated. Hence, because of his action, people do it too. This is the path that we're talking about. This is the introduction that we're talking about. It's got nothing to do whatsoever by creating something from scratch and saying it's a good innovation. It doesn't exist. Because we learned something very important in Islam when it comes to ibadat. Who's going to tell me? We learned something in Islam when it refers to ibadat. What was the thing regarding ibadat? Or acts of worship? A big word. Tawqifi. Naam ya Abdullah. Tawqifi. Tawqifi. Meaning, it's a big red stop sign. You are not allowed to do any act of worship. Any act of worship. It's haram. To perform any act of worship. It's all stopped. Unless there's proof. Every act of worship is tawqifi. It's a big red stop sign. Unless you have proof, you are not allowed in Islam. Doesn't matter how much you think it's good. If it's not from the sunnah, you are not allowed to do it. It's not up to you to create. The deen of Allah is complete. It's absolute. It cannot be added nor deleted. It's there to be followed, not to be played with and tarnished. The Kuffar did that. The Christians played with the deen of Isa alayhi salam. Hence, they were dalun, the misguided. They became deviants. So what is the difference between us and them? If we add and delete. Did they not change the word of the Almighty Allah? As Allah says in the Quran, in many places, what He revealed. So if we create or introduce new ways in Islam, then what are we doing different than them? We are exactly equal to them. We are introducing a new law that Allah did not legislate. There's only one law maker, and He's up there, above the seventh heaven. No other. And through Muhammad, we learn exactly what He told us is law. He is the one that legislates our way of life. Not up to you to come and create, introduce. This is not a problem. What am I doing? I'm doing dhikr in a unison manner. No! Did He do it? We do it. He didn't do it? We abandon it. It's as easy as that. So every act of worship is what? Tawqif. Never forget that term. And I'm pretty sure I clarified it very, very thoroughly. Did I not? Huh? We learned that. And we learned it very, very thoroughly. We learned something about something called mubah, about this earthly existence. You can remind us. So we learned that every act of worship is tawqifi, is haram. At the same time, everything that Allah created on this earth is what?
Permissible, honest, haram.
Is permissible. Is mubah. Is jaiz. Is halal. Acceptable. Allowable. Huh? You can do it. You can enjoy it. You can wear it. You can shelter with it. You can consume it. You can act upon it. You can enjoy it. The only time you are not allowed to do something if Allah has said so. Either in the Quran or in the purest tongue that ever existed, the tongue of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. هو الذي خلق لكم ما في الأرض جميعا. It is He who created everything on this earth for your benefit. So no one is allowed, no one, to come and tell you, you know, you shouldn't wear that, it's haram to wear that. Where's your proof? You shouldn't eat that, it's haram. Where's your proof? You shouldn't wear that baseball cap, it's haram. How can you wear that? Where's your proof? You shouldn't go there, it's haram. Where's your proof? You can't drive a car. It's an innovation. Where's your proof? You understand what I'm coming to? Allah allowed this earth for you to enjoy. The only time you cannot enjoy it if there's proof. You can eat everything you want as long as it's halal, meaning it's been slaughtered correctly, it's not swine, you can drink whatever you want as long as there's no alcohol, as long as it's not poison, as long as it's not blood, because these are things that are exempted, prohibited in Islam, but everything else is halal. Now I can come and tell you, say to you, hold to billah, you know, that Pepsi Max, you should not drink it, it's haram. Where's your proof? That's how it works. قُلْ هَاتُوا بُرْهَانَكُمْ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Islam is simple. It's easy to understand. You need evidence for you to prevent someone from doing something. You need evidence for you to act upon that which is called ibadah. Because you are not allowed to worship Allah the way you want to worship Allah. No. He has taught us everything that will get us to Jannah and warned us against everything that would lead you to eternal damnation in dungeons of hell. يا شباب الأمة يا شباب الأمة أهلا وسهلا تبارك الله ما شاء الله الله يحفظكم الله. In Surah An-Nisa, verse 100, وَمَنْ يُشَاكِكَ الرَّسُولَ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ الْهُدَى وَيَتَّبِعْ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ نُوَلِّهِ مَا تَوَلَّى وَنُصْلِهِ جَهَنَّمَ وَسَاءَتْ مَصِيرًا. Whoever opposes the way of Muhammad and those of the believers. Who are the believers that Allah is talking about? You know, Allah is warning us in this verse that you are not allowed to oppose Muhammad under any circumstance. You are not allowed, nor are you allowed to oppose the path of whom? Like the believers, he doesn't say Sahaba. Says the believers, and say Allah said the believers, the mu'minin. So who are the believers according, and why do you think they are? After you answer that question, who are the believers? And who are they?
The last three generations, the three generations after the Prophet.
And specifically, who are they?
Sahaba.
Sahaba. So what would you say to Sahaba? How do we understand Sahaba from this verse? وَيَتَّبِعْ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Why here is the path of the believers referred to the companions specifically?
Because they lived with the Prophet. They witnessed him. And
You were getting there and I thought you actually had it and then you just flushed it down.
they witnessed what the Prophet ﷺ done, and he actually said,
It's got nothing to do with what they witnessed. I thought you had it. I actually thought you had it. I was going to give you a nice cup of drink. No.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه.
They believe in it.
We're talking about this verse. Don't get any other introductions and extras and additions and let it go and stick to this verse. From this verse, how can we understand that it refers to the Sahaba? Period.
yeah, and that's told direct from the Prophet ﷺ.
Close but no, yes, sister.
Describe the best nations to come after him.
We don't want any additions.
Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that.
How do we recognize that it was the Sahaba he's talking about when this verse was revealed?
Because that was the time, the only meaning.
أحسن الله إليك. تني عليك. What a comeback. What a comeback. That's a 6, that one. Beautiful. Because they were the only ones alive when the verse was revealed. Logically. So you came around the merry-go-round and you hit it. Allahu Akbar. What a knockout. Beautiful. That's exactly the answer. No one of the believers existed other than them. So they are the believers that are referred to in this verse. May Allah reward you. كيفك يا سكيني؟ You comfortable there, Habibi? Want a cup of coffee or something? Allah take off, yeah. Someone told you that a Quran is 40 years. Now we all know major scholars differed in regards to the Quran. خير القرون قرني. The hadith says, authentic narration. ثم الذين يلونهم. ثم الذين يلونهم. The best of generations is my generation. And the term he used for generation in the Arabic term was Qarn. Ya Muhammad Sa'id. حيا الله. أهلا ومرحبا. بعض العلماء قالوا أركان هو 40 سنة. كيف ترد على ذلك؟ You got the question? Some scholars said that the Quran in this narration refers to 40 years. Some said 60. Some said 80. What would you believe? What would you say about this? With all respect to the scholars, obviously.
There was a hadith making reference to from the Prophet ﷺ that the garden was 100 years.
Allahu Akbar, look at that. That's called stability. That's called stability. Please clarify. Before he finished, he went like this at the end. We haven't started it. What was the verse? What was the hadith?
Page number.
Huh? Who was the companion? We did take it, did we not? I'm pretty sure we did. Taha. Taha. لا بالعكس أخذناها وأخذنا أكثر من ذلك كذلك. Who's going to raise his hand and tell Muhammad Sa'id who was the companion? Who was the last companion that lived in the Sham according to Bukhari? Huh?
I know his age was 110.
Yeah. Hassan Basri.
No one said 110. That's another companion altogether. Who was the last of the companions to live? Abdullah al-Mazani. Did we not say that? We did. We did. Go and refer back to the videos. As evidence. Abdullah al-Mazani. He was told by the greatest teachers, you will reach a Qarn. And he lived for 100 years. SubhanAllah, it's a miracle, is it not? He was told, Ya Abdullah, you will reach a Qarn. And he reached 100 years. Hence we learn that the Qarn in the Arabic language can be defined as 100 years. So we say, خير القرون قرني. That means 100. ثم الذين يلونهم 200. ثم الذين يلونهم 300 are the righteous generation. There's another narration that mentions the fourth Qarn, which is 400. So the reality is they are considered the Salaf Salih, the righteous forebears, forefathers, pious predecessors. However, the best and greatest of them are the first Qarn. Correct? The Sahaba, the Tabi'i, the Tabi' al-Tabi'i, the Tabi' al-Tabi'i. That's how it is. They're skinny. I haven't even asked you anything. What does Islam mean? No idea. Allahu Akbar. You just said no idea. You just drained yourself and then you come back. I'll let it go off you. Yusuf, how can a person be a Sahabi? Are there conditions?
Yes.
What are they?
Visualizing. You have to be around him.
How many conditions are there to be a companion?
3.
Number 1,
They have to see him.
to visualize Muhammad sallallahu Abdullah, to be a Muslim. Ahsanta ya Abdullah, to be a Muslim.
To believe what he can.
ما you just said to be a Muslim. I can keep on looking ya عالم. To die. Ahsanallahu alayka ya Abdullah, to die as a Muslim. They are the 3 conditions. To visualize him, to believe while you're visualizing him, and to die on that faith. Many companions were companions, they apostated. Don't you know the Hurub al-Muqtaddin, when Abu Bakr fought those who denied the zakat and so forth and so on, and followed false prophets. So they weren't Muslimin, although they saw him, they believed in him at that time, but they died on other than Islam. What if you were blind? يا أبو عبد الله إذا كان واحد أعمى ولكن حضر الرسول ومات على الإسلام هل هو يكون صحابيا؟
مع الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم.
إذا كان في حياته وجلس معه وهو مؤمن به ومات على الإسلام لكن كان أعمى، ومن الشروط أن تكون صحابي أن تجد وترى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، فماذا تقول؟
هذا من الصحابة.
هل هو صحابي؟
نعم.
وإن كان أعمى وما رأى؟
نعم.
لماذا؟ أين الدليل؟
لأن آمن بالرسول.
He heard him.
لا بس في شيء آخر.
لأن آمن بالرسول.
بعطيك يعني شيء زائد. مين كان المؤذن صلى الله عليه وسلم؟
لا الحبشي.
لا غيره.
قبله ولا بعد؟
نفس الوقت. The blind man شو اسمه؟ عبد الله بن مخزوم. أليس كذلك؟ He was the blind man. He used to do the adhan in Ramadan. He would do the first adhan and Bilal would do the second adhan. That's what the hadith says. Don't bother yourself while eating Sahur in Ramadan. Don't stop when you hear the adhan of Abdullah, but stop when you hear the adhan of Bilal. Now, he was a blind man. And that's the verses when he one day went to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam seeking advice, and he was asking him for some kind of counsel, and he turned his way from him. Heard it? He turned his face. Allah revealed, عَبَسَ وَتَوَلَّى أَنْ جَاءَهُ الْأَعْمَى. He frowned, he's talking about Muhammad, and turned him away when the blind man came. So Allah rebuked him because of this individual. Because at that time he was given da'wah to who? To the chieftains of Quraysh. And Allah rebuked him, saying he is important. Don't turn your face away from him. See, Allah does not look at quantity. Never he ever does that. He looks at quality, the hearts. Now I'm going to stop it.
Sheikh, what do you mean about 2 adhans?
They used to do 2 adhans at Fajr time to awaken the people and get them ready for prayer and. We don't do it these days. Don't forget, these days you are not allowed to publicly announce the prayer. In Medina and Mecca and the Peninsula you are. Or the Middle East you are. And the 2 adhans still exist there. So the first adhan is to enlighten the people. to awaken the people, prepare them for as-salat. It's a reminder. It's a wake-up call, in other words. You can't do it here. But he gets down on you to say Allahu Akbar. You have federal police there, the police there, you have the AGO on you, you have the counter-terrorism on you, and then you'd be bashed after that.
Didn't ask a question about the blind man.
Which one?
The blind.
Why is he considered the Sahabi?
Who's this?
The blind man.
From the
If you're blind.
parents of the Mu'adhin.
Because he saw Muhammad, although he was blind, he attended his sermon.
Okay, because he attended.
And he believed in him.
Okay.
And he died on that
He
belief.
died on
Absolutely. According to the fuqaha, the jurists, the Sunnah denotes one of the 5 judgments under Muslim law. And we did learn that في الشريعة عند الفقهاء there are 5 judgments. Did we not? What are the 5? We learned that the Sunnah, according to the fuqaha, there are 5 judgments under Muslim law. And we did say from the Islamic standpoint, the Sunnah can mean a number of meanings. عند المحدثون it can mean something. عند الأصوليون it can mean something. And عند الفقهاء it can mean something. According to the jurists, the fuqaha, it's one of 5 judgments under Muslim law. Number 1, wajib. Number 2, haram. Number 3, mandub. Number 4, mubah. Number 5, okay. Raise your hand if you know what this is and tell me what it is. It's got to be sunnah, one of these. Eating with the right hand. Sunnah what? Wajib. Sunnah wajib. Naam ya Umar. Sunnah wajib. It is sunnah, but it's wajib sunnah. It's an obligated sunnah. You know how many people say, that is sunnah. No, it is sunnah, but an obligated sunnah. Number 2, eating with the left hand. Sunnah, haram. Sunnah, haram. Swearing by one's father. Sunnah, haram. أليس كذلك؟ لا تحلفوا بآبائكم. Eating fish. Sunnah? Sunnah? Eating fish is wajib. Allah subhanahu Ya Isa, you must like fish a lot. It's sunnah mubah. Shaving the beard. Sunnah? Haram. Loving Muhammad sallam more than your own self. Skinny. Sunnah what? Loving him more than your own self. Astaghfirullah. Sunnah haram. Sunnah wajib. Loving him more than your own self is wajib. Not haram.
He meant it the other way.
Why did you mean it the other way? I meant it the way I said it. Allah take it off, Mr. And the Habib Allah asking. Fishing. Sunnah what?
Mubah.
Sunnah mubah. Swimming ya Muhammad Sa'id. Swimming ya Muhammad Sa'id. Sunnah mandub. No? Is it correct? Yes, it is. It is correct. Obviously mubah. Sunnah mandub, which is sunnah encouraged. You get reward for it, do you not?
What's that word, Sheikh?
Mandub.
Supererogatory.
Supererogatory is the word.
Is that in sport or just archery and horse riding?
Driving a car. Sunnah what? See how beautiful it is? See, once you understand these terminologies and these judgments, you actually can actualize them in every perspective. You know exactly where it falls. It's not just a matter of understanding, it's a matter of worshipping Allah according to this. So no one can come and tell you now, this is only sunnah, but you say, yes, sunnah what? It's this.
Is that hadith authentic? The one, the archery and the swimming?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Driving a car. Sunnah mubah. Sunnah mubah. Plucking eyebrows.
Haram.
Sunnah haram. Wearing a baseball cap.
Mubah.
Sunnah mubah. Na'am. أحسن الله عليكم جميعا. What did Ibn Umar, Abdullah, say when he saw his son Bilal prohibiting his wife from attending the masjid, and why? Who was his son? What's his name? Abdullah ibn Umar's son was who? That when he this circumstance? Did he not see his son prohibiting his wife from going to the masjid? What did Abdullah say to his son?
Told you not to prohibit, because the Prophet ﷺ said, let the women.
He goes, لا تمنعهم يا ابني فقد سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لا تمنعوا إماء الله مساجد الله. And his son's name was Bilal in this circumstance. He saw him prohibiting his wife, from going to the masjid. He goes, don't do this. For indeed I heard our teacher say, do not prevent the female servants of Allah from attending the houses of Allah. Now.
Without محرم or
محرم. What's محرم? محرم. محرم is like the days when you go to Hajj with the ihram. أنت محرم, they say. That's the محرم. أنت محرم. Yeah. محرم. You don't need a mahram to travel internally, locally. You need a mahram to travel externally. When you're traveling, meaning you're leaving your residential premises and you're endeavoring upon a journey beyond your area. Hence you need a mahram. But to go to shopping, for example, I do encourage that you never allow your wife to go by yourself if you're able to do that, due to the problems that have surrounded us today. But is it haram? No, it's not. Internally, it's not advised, but it's allowed. If she needs to go and buy something, for example, to go to visit someone that she's allowed to visit, then she's allowed to do that. What? شباب شي حاجة بيعملنا مشاكل. شو نعمل فيه؟ ندبره شو رأيك؟ نعم.
السنة تنسأل عليها شيخ؟
حبيبي؟
السنة تنسأل عليها؟
السنة؟
تنسأل عليها؟
ما معنى ذلك؟
يعني
I know what you're saying. Now, what is the ruling of the Sunnah? The ruling. ايش حكمها؟ What is the ruling on Sunnah Mandub? On Sunnah Mandub, we took the ruling for every single category.
It's better for one to do
If
it.
you do it, it's best to do it. And the one that does it will be rewarded. And the one that abandons it will not be accountable for it. What's the ruling on Mubah? To do or not to do is equal. You are free to do or not to do. What's the ruling on Haram?
Not allowed to commit it.
To do it, you will be accountable and eligible for punishment. Not to do it for the sake of Allah, you get reward for it. You know that? To avoid haram for Allah's sake, you will be rewarded for it. SubhanAllah, it's only time for Isha. Is it Isha time? Time is so quick, isn't it? We're only a third of the way.
We can continue after, Sheikh.
Want to continue after Isha? Someone has protested against you and objectified to what you have to say. You just got a baseball bat and clobbered you with it beautifully. يلا أذنوا بالصلاة لأنه الأوقات الصلاة مهمة. We do pray exactly as time has mentioned.